I made a huge mistake. If you're anything like me, you've never touched anything League related for your entire life. Probably for the better. Up until Arcane. I even hesitated watching the show itself because I knew nothing about the game, but I gave it a try. And I'm kinda obsessed? The characters, the plot, the themes, the gorgeous animation. It was all a trap. Riot made a season of TV so good that it got me, as well as probably hundreds, if not thousands of other viewers interested in League of Legends. And then... No. Wait. Mistake number 1. Wait. I know this guy.
I got a pizza here.
For some odd reason, the tutorial levels didn't want to load in, so I probably should have taken that as a sign of divine intervention. But once the tutorials finally opened, I was absolutely shredding through all the enemies, trying out some different characters, enjoying Darius's playstyle for most of it. I thought, you know what, this isn't half bad, I'm actually doing pretty good. Let's go into an actual game. And that's mistake number 2. And I would love to show you guys my first proper game of League, but for some reason the recording glitched out. The sound is perfectly fine, but the video turned into a PowerPoint presentation. Not very good for YouTube. But to summarize my first game, I tried playing Vi because she's a badass brawler in Arcane, and I wanted to compare the two versions. I don't know how many kills and deaths I got exactly, but I remember getting at least 1 kill towards the end of the match. And this image shows I died at least 19 times? 1/19th KD ratio, yay! So, overall, not a great start to my League career. But thankfully, the rest of my games recorded without any issues. Except for my skill, of course. That was a big issue. So after the failure of a game that was Vi, I went back to a slightly more familiar champion, Darius. Mistake number 3! And in this game, I had a bit of a rivalry with the enemy Garen. Whenever we didn't play hide and seek, he would just straight up kill me. Bro literally had a thirst for my blood. It's not even funny how many times this guy alone killed me. And that's to not even mention the amount of times he and his allies ganged up on me. Literally every single time I had a good chance of killing an enemy, one of the allies would come to the rescue and they would kill me together.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
At a certain point, I just resorted to a bit of research between deaths. But it was too late and the game ended with 0 kills and 18 deaths. Somehow even worse than my first game. Safe to say, Darius is not for me. Before we move on to the third game, make sure you smack that like button the way Vi smacked pow. I can't. Make sure you shoot the like button the same way Jace. Just like the video if you're enjoying it so far, please. And with the possibly upcoming changes to the YouTube recommendation system, subscribing to our channel is yet again very important. So if you don't want to miss any of my future uploads, make sure you turn that white subscribe button grey. The same way Bandit's eyes turn grey when he... Anyway, moving on to Game 3.
Hey bitch, what's up bitch? Suck my dick bitch.
It's just more Darius. Honestly don't know why I picked him after how the last match played out, but I did manage to somewhat redeem myself. I got 3 kills, and 12 deaths, and an assist! But yeah, still no win. In Game 4, I really wanted to try out some more Arcane characters, so I went with Matilda. I mean Kate. I loved her characterization in the show, so I was curious as to how she is in League. And wow, I thought her British accent was strong in the adaptation, but in the game it's a whole nother beast.
I'm gonna get my Aprilla out and do burnouts on your front lawn, and then I'm gonna chuck mud bombs at your nan's windows, you silly bastard!
Getting that first blood made me really confident I found a champion whose playstyle really fits me. More on that later. But after that 1 kill, I didn't get any more for the rest of the match. So as much as I was excited to play as Arcane champions, it just seemed like it wasn't meant to be. Next up, I tried out Brand. Mainly because a lot of enemy Brands were destroying me, so I wanted to see if maybe it's because he's OP. Because surely if I was getting obliterated by Brands left, right and center, it meant the champion was good, and not necessarily the player. Wrong. Well, I mean I did alright in this game, at least compared to my previous ones. And as I said earlier, I found the playstyle that really fits me the most. That being the ranged characters like Brand and Kate. But man, was it tough. Especially with some guy leaving mid-game. From what I saw, he was just farming some stuff in the jungle. Maybe it was for a challenge or coins or whatever. I don't know enough about the game. Clearly. And this is the last game of the video, and somehow it's like the worst one. Maybe a bit of an exaggeration, because nothing beats that first Darius game. We did not talk about that first Darius game. I don't think I felt as much fear in this game as I did whenever Warwick popped up anywhere on my screen. Poor Vander got turned into a furry. After that fiasco, I decided to try out the bottom lane, where I saw Jinx. Eventually I returned to mid and narrowly avoided death. But I really tried my hardest in this game. I tried predicting enemy attacks to varying levels of success. I did return to bottom lane and I immediately got bombed. After which Jinx chased me down, and while I was trying to escape...
Oops.
Yeah. While attempting to defend the turret, I stumbled across the entire enemy team, after which I got promptly executed. Twice. So yeah, not a single win in this entire video. A little anticlimactic, don't you guys think? It's not like it matters, the game's dying anyway. Or maybe it's not dying? This video has been in production for so long that the game managed to die and pick itself back up again. I love that for myself. Anyway, to summarize, do not play League. I only did so for this video and I felt my sanity being stripped away from me as I played. I do not understand how so many people willingly play this, but to each their own. Riot built a world of amazing characters and stories, and they're expanding into the world of TV, and thank God for that. If not for Arcane, I would have never even tried this game. But to not end the video on a bad note, go watch Arcane if you haven't already. It's full of beautiful animation and storytelling. From the little I know about League, it seems like the game's lore and what is being established in the show contradict at times. Maybe Riot is trying to set up Arcane to be the canon, to iron out and simplify the game's lore. After all, the game is so vast and there are so many characters that there are bound to be inconsistencies. In my opinion, Arcane's take on these champions makes them feel more human. But that's not to discredit any of the original writers, because without them, there would be no Arcane. The writers on the show had the benefit of hindsight, and they took what worked in the original lore and changed what might have felt off or incoherent. So in the end, it's a little unfair to compare such a huge world from the game to a more focused and personal story presented in the show. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. If you enjoyed this video and want to watch me play Valorant the way Riot Games intended it, then go to the video on the left. Or if you want to see me attempt to beat Minecraft in under 1 hour, then that's the video on the right. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and see you all hopefully sooner than in 1 month. Never again.